Hello, welcome back to the channel. Now, it has been a minute since I've made some videos on the best platforms to use, and so I wanted to make this into a little bit of a series where I talk about the best platforms to use in whatever category we're talking about in the moment. So expect a few of these videos to come out over the next couple of weeks, but I wanted to start with the best platforms to use that are $0 a month. So what exactly does that mean, $0 a month? So that means that it costs absolutely nothing to get signed up, and it is no reoccurring monthly fee. Now that doesn't mean that there isn't any transaction cost. It just means there is no reoccurring monthly fee and no setup cost for these platforms. Now I'm somebody who always recommends going with a platform that costs nothing per month. Choose a platform that doesn't do credits and doesn't do monthly fees and doesn't do any other shenanigans, at least in the beginning. I'm not saying that those platforms aren't worth using, that's not true, but I'm saying if you don't have a good book of business, there's no point in you spending reoccurring monthly costs when you're not getting reoccurring monthly business, right? So if you can start with a platform that costs nothing, absolutely do. Okay, so let's set the scene a little bit for the video. So I'm going to talk about primarily independent platforms. So some of these platforms are going to have sides of them that give you clients. I'm not going to talk about that today because I'm going to talk about that in the next video. So I'm just going to talk about the independent side, and all these platforms you've probably heard about before, but I wanted to give you the newest updated information as of now, May 2024, because some prices have definitely changed. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, the way I typically do platform reviews is I give a general overview. I will talk about which states it's available in, how much it costs, and then just some general features or things to know. So the first platform I want to start with is One Notary. Now, if you didn't see, I recently did a video on One Notary's partnership with DocuSign, so feel free to check that out if you haven't. It'll be somewhere on the screen, but a great platform to sign up for now because that platform I feel like is going to be blowing up in the next few months. Now, One Notary is available in these states that I will put on the screen somewhere. Now, the interesting thing about One Notary is it's been around for a long time, and of platforms of this type, it's available in the least amount of states of like other platforms. Like they've definitely expanded. I think when I first started becoming a notary, they were available to in 10 states, and now it's like 18. But still, amongst like independent platforms, it's still less than most other platforms. Not a terrible thing, just something that I noticed. Now let's talk about how much it costs. So of course it is $0 a month to sign up, so free to sign up for notaries, and it costs $13 for the first seal and $5 per additional. That means you as the notary are getting charged $13 for the first seal and $5 per additional seal when you bring on a transaction. So just in case you are new to how this works, if you have a signer who brings on a document and they need one stamp, you as a notary will get charged $13. If they need 2 stamps, you'll get charged $18, right? And so that's kind of how it works. And then if you want loan signings, you can do 3 loan signings on the free side of the platform, and there is a $30 flat fee in order to perform that loan signing. Now, $13 per seal isn't insane, but an important thing to keep in mind is you would really only use this platform if you're in a state where you can charge $25 per transaction, or where you're allowed to pass on the charge of the platform to the signer. Because think about it this way. If you're in a state where you can only charge $15 per transaction, well, you're charging the signer $15 and you are getting charged $13. You're only making $2, so that doesn't make any sense. But if you're able to charge $25 per transaction or per stamp, then at the very least you're making $12. Or if you're in a state where you can charge $15, but you're able to pass on the charge of the platform to your client, well, then you're still making that $15 and it ends up making sense. But you really need to know how much you're able to charge and how you're able to charge in your state in order to know which platforms you should and should not go with. Now, outside of those costs, another thing that you're able to do is bring 3 max participants. Now, you may say 3 is small, but honestly, for a lot of platforms, they actually charge you more to bring on additional participants. Participants can be witnesses, signers, etc. So getting those 3 included in that cost is actually a very good deal. The next platform up is Notarize Genie. Now, this is a platform I've done an in-depth review on in the past, and so I will link that somewhere because that goes like a lot farther into the platform and how that looks. So let's just get into the overview. So first things first, it's available in these states that I will throw on the screen. It's available in a ton of places, so definitely a good platform to take advantage of. Now, in terms of the pricing for the platform, it's a little bit more granular. So they have different charges for kind of all these different small things, but let's talk about the ones that are going to be relevant to most of you, which is the cost of the seals. So it is $10 for the first seal, $5 for each additional, which is a pretty standard cost. The other one that you don't see in many platforms, but isn't a huge fee, is the cost of essentially passing on custom charges. So it's worded as if you were to pass on the cost of the platform to your signer or pass on the cost of document preparation to your signer, they will charge you 10%. So let's say you want to pass on the cost of the transaction fee to your signer, which is $10. They will charge you 10% of that, which is $1. So that's kind of the way to think about it. Now there's other fees there for, adding additional witnesses or adding additional participants or doing a loan document or doing an exemplar or whatever the case may be. Those are gonna be less relevant to most people, but I'm going to put those on the screen just in case you're interested in seeing that. Now let's get into the features, because there is a feature that I'm really excited about when it comes to this platform. Now, something that I love about this platform is even on the free side, there's a potential that you may be sent clients. So there's a potential that you will be able to serve the clients that are naturally coming onto their platform. And if you do, you will get paid $5 for that first seal, $1 per additional, which is very standard when it comes to on-demand platforms that give you business. That is the cost that you'll pretty much see almost everywhere. Now, getting business is not guaranteed. You do need to pass an assessment. Like I said, if you want to see kind of how that works, check out the dedicated video, but you do have that option of potentially getting their clients, which I think makes this platform stand out. Now, the next platform up is Blue Notary. Now, if you saw my video I made about becoming a remote online signing agent, then you would know that I put them as my recommended platform for everybody to use, because it is currently the only platform that is completely free. $0 a month, $0 transaction fee. It is the only completely free platform that currently exists. So it is my recommendation for anybody just getting started. But let's kind of get into it and I'll explain how it's free. Now, first things first, it's available in 39 states and growing. So eventually it'll pretty much be available in every state where remote online notarizations are allowed on the notary side. And then we have to talk about the pricing. Now, yes, it is $0 a month, $0 transaction fee. Yes, that is real, but how does it work? So the way that it works is when you bring a client onto the platform, you as the notary will get paid $22 for that first seal and $4 for additional seals. So you don't pay anything, you will get paid $22 and $4 regardless of how much your state allows you to charge for a notarization. So the way that it works is Blue Notary as a platform is automatically going to charge your signer. I think they charge them $27 for their first seal and like 10 per additional seal, whatever the case may be, in order to do a notarization on the platform. Of that $27, they will give you $22 of that. So they will keep $5, you will get $22, and that's essentially how it works. Now, there are some caveats. So on this side of the platform, you can only do general notary work, so you can't do any loan signings. Also, because they are kind of dictating your pay, you cannot charge custom fees. But the good thing about that is even if you are in a state where you can only charge $10 per remote online notarization, you will still be able to get that $22. So again, a platform that I absolutely recommend, and no, this is not sponsored. Now, outside of the fact that, well, it's free, the biggest thing to me that sets this platform apart from other platforms is the fact that they give you a free electronic notarial seal and a free digital certificate. Now, these are two things that you have to have if you're going to be a remote online notary, and they typically will run you about $100 altogether, and you are getting those completely free. So this is a platform, really, you're not coming out of pocket anything as long as you are approved to be a remote online notary. I highly recommend just checking it out just to see if you like becoming a remote online notary, because it is a very low barrier to entry, free way to kind of get your foot in the door. Now, the last platform I'm going to talk about is Notarize, which is a platform probably everybody has heard about at this point. Now, Notarize has like 3 sides of the platform, but I'm only going to talk about the side where you are able to bring your own clients. Now, that is available in these states that I will put somewhere on top of the screen. And when you're using the platform, of course, it's $0 a month, but it is $10 for the first seal and $3 for each additional seal. Incredibly standard pricing. That's what you see on the majority of platforms. So again, you as the notary will get charged that $10 and that $3 Now, one thing that's different about Notarized than any other platform is in order to get signed up, you have to have $25,000 of errors and omissions insurance. So it's insurance that essentially will protect you as a notary if anything ends up going wrong with the notarization. Now, the good thing about that is it's very cheap to get. You can get it from the National Notary Association. It's typically, $25 or so for the full year, but definitely something you have to get in order to get approved. Now, the reason I really like Notarized and one of its best features is it's an incredibly intuitive platform. You can set your own pricing, you can set your own fees. They have very, very good training and education on the platform. To me, it has the best user interface of any notary platform out there. So absolutely a platform you should look to get signed up for if you really want to check it out. Now, of course, with all these platforms, I'm gonna link it all in the description with any relevant information for you, so please check that out. That is the end of the video. Let me know what you thought as always, and let me know which additional videos you want while I'm doing this kind of Ron platform series. I'm already planning to give you a list of all the platforms that provide you clients. I'm already planning to give you a list of all of the new platforms you may not heard about, but anything else you want me to dive into, just let me know in the comment sections and I'm on it. Thank you as always for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.